Hey, what's going on, you guys? Ice here. Yeah, I just thought it'd be due for another vlog, update. I am pretty much done with the Plants vs. Zombies series. So, whoopsie doo to that. That game actually turned out not to be as addicting as the media claimed it to be. I got pretty bored of it as soon as I completed the game, and it's a pretty short game too. The mini games, the puzzles, and I hadn't gotten into survival yet. But overall, everything is just it's a waste of time. You get nothing for achievements, and you just complete waste of time. It's just might be personal preference because you know me, I'm into more action genre video games. But I do have some good news. I don't know why there's any wind blowing at this time. Now, okay. Yeah, at first the leaves of the trees, nothing was moving, but now the wind's really blowing. It's waiting for me to turn on this camera so it can interfere with the microphone. But if you're lucky, up, you see the hummingbird. I was just about to say, if you're lucky, you can get some hummingbird action. You can see it right there. We got the hummingbird feeder. Yeah, we have filled these hummingbird feeders to the top by sometime over the weekend, and look at it's all gone. The hummingbirds are just they fly so close to us. If you get even luckier, you might see a hummingbird flying right around my head because they do they get that close. Ah, there's the hummingbird. The hummingbird wants to be on film, and the wind is blowing. I went for a walk today, a nice 45-minute walk. No win. I went shopping. No win. I just no win until I turned the video camera on. This is Mother Nature saying, you know what, put the fucking camera down and go work on Doom 3. But yeah, on to the good news. I finally got Sick Mod to work. There's the hummingbird again. Not that it wasn't working before, but if you recall my last vlog, I was talking about all the other like script and enemy AI errors I've been encountering. Because I was talking about how the enemies are just so strong and they're just unbelievably they're impossible to take down. But I was finally able to get it all configured, and it finally saved my configuration. So now everything is pretty much set, just like Marine's Journey. The only thing that's left for me to do now is I'm trying to implement other mods into it. Despite Resurrection of Evil already having its own new string of monsters, I still want to add more monsters. I just want to make it different. I want to make it unique, just like Perfected Doom. You had the Baron of Hell, which to me is honestly the coolest looking monster in all of Doom 3. It was completely modified. I believe the guy took the Baron of Hell, which was originally a Hell Knight model, and added some meshes to it and some more sound effects, added the horns, and made it into a Baron of Hell. So it looks like a cooler version of Baron of Hell. But then the guy that created Perfected Mod added his own touches to it. So you notice the green glowing effects that he's got just makes them all just so awesome. I'd love to be able to keep that in Resurrection of Evil. If I can, I'd like to cast aside the Hell Knights just because we've had enough of them in Marine's Journey. And plus, I'm pretty sure you're gonna be bumping into plenty of Hell Knights when you do what's the other one? The BFG edition expansion, the Lost Mission. So there's always gonna be plenty of Hell Knight action. Plus, Resurrection of Evil is supposed to take place. What was it? 1 or 2 years after the regular Doom 3 events took place. Whatever it is, I would expect maybe more stronger demons, more different demons have finally surfaced, or they've gone through, I don't know, some 2 year evolution phase. I don't know. I just want different monsters besides the cool ones that are already included in Resurrection of Evil. but that is going to be a work in progress. The only thing, I'm scavenging around the web right now. I'm trying to find help on how to set spawning points, or better yet, how to replace. I pretty much just want to replace all imps and all hell knights. I mean, that's just about it. Or I could replace like the wraths or the wraiths, however you pronounce it, them and the maggots. And you could the if you look into the Doom 3 demon expansion mod, there's like 8 different demons in there, and I'd like to be able to implement as many of those demons as I can, but I know nothing about programming or modifying levels or any of that. So anything I've managed to accomplish over Doom 3 Marine's Journey was pretty much based out of pure luck and a lot of effort. So, you know me, I am no computer programmer. I'm no expert into digging into video game files and just tweaking everything around. It's just all just based on luck. I mean, the way I ended Doom 3 Marine's Journey when I was able to get the Hell Knight and the Mancubus into the final level while we were fighting the Cyber Demon, that I had failed that so many times in the past. It's just as soon as I was ready to record my last episode, somehow it just magically worked. I don't know what that was, but and that made for one hell of a fight too. So, and all I want to say is I got Plants vs Zombies done. I don't know if Plants vs Zombies 2 is gonna be worth trying just because I got burned out on the first one. You know, it's not my cup of tea. But oh, it's checking for the Hummingbird. It doesn't want to be on the action anymore. Resurrection of Evil is getting pretty close. I'm starting to feel a little hyped up for getting started on it pretty soon. I hadn't gotten anywhere in Nomad Legacy. The drive is still not there to kickstart it, but I will get back to it eventually. It's still in its infancy. Other than that, I like to try to get some other Let's Play games. At the moment, I don't really have anything to do, any mobile gaming recording, because either I just learned this whole thing. You know, in my last video I talked about how I just got a new phone. It's the Android phone, and I just learned about rooting the device and everything. I don't know how to do it yet, but I just learned about it, and, you know, rooting the Android device, you know, gets you access. Why is the wind just... Ah, it was so peaceful all day until this point. Mother Nature is getting a little impatient. I think she wants to see some more Doom 3, don't you think? I completely lost track of what I was talking about here. What was I talking about? Doom 3, Resurrection of Evil, Nomad Legacy. I just don't have that drive there. It'll come back eventually. Mobile video games. Either I gotta get a HDMI recorder, which can go up to almost $200, which I'm thinking is probably the best way to go, just because it doesn't involve rooting my phone. And the thing I learned about rooting your phone, it will wipe out your phone completely. So pictures, videos, text messages, contacts, phone numbers, everything I have on this phone, apps, game saves, they will all be wiped out, which is why I'm a little concerned about rooting my phone to, you know, purchase one of these apps that actually records on your phone for you. So that's why I'm thinking the HDMI is the best way to go. I tried connecting the phone to the computer, and I got like screen capture software and stuff on there, but it literally runs at not even 1 frame per second. It's merely a screen capture. Like, it records an image on your phone every 2 or 3 seconds, and I cannot do any video recording on that. I've tried. I've downloaded numerous programs and sources, and it's just, I think it has to do with USB because of the slow bandwidth and the connection speed. But yeah, it's gonna be a while. I've been looking around the app market for a while. I wanted to see what kind of fun games, what kind of interesting games there are. If you hadn't heard of Contract Killer 2, I like to do a playthrough on that, just because I played it a few years ago, believe it or not, and it was an extremely addicting game. You know, it's heavily focused on Oh, here comes the wind again. I don't know how much this wind is interfering with the microphone on this phone, but it's bugging me. But yeah, Contract Killer is a pretty addicting game. If you hadn't tried it out yet, go ahead and try it out. It's a free game. It's free. The only thing is there are in-app purchases. So, that's how a lot of free-to-play games are becoming nowadays. You can play them for free. As I heard, Plants vs. Zombies 2 is a free game. It's just there are in-app purchases. So if you want, special access to certain things or whatever, you just got to pay money for it. So Contract Killer 2, that's going to be a bit tricky for me because I've already played it a few years ago. I've completed literally the entire campaign that they had available at the time. But what that means is the game is an ongoing. They're continuously releasing more game modes and more missions, objectives. So it's like they're constantly adding DLCs. So on top of more DLC, you're kind of expected, or should I say, you're required to be purchasing or gathering more powerful weapons, and they cost a lot of money or tokens because you gain money and tokens in the game, but the amount you gain per mission or quest or objective is so little that it just almost seems like you're never going to be able to afford any guns, and they get really expensive, and that's where in-app purchases come from. And what I'm trying to get at here is I played this game a few years ago. I've already put in a good amount of money into this game, so what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to get the Android version of the game since I can't transfer anything from my old iPhone onto here. I don't want to say it, but I'm going to look for a modified version of Contract Killer 2 or a cheat or something to find a way to get myself money. There's a hummingbird flying over there, but the bird feeders are over here. Okay. Um, hadn't been paying attention. Have they been flying around my head? Yeah, I gotta get a modified version that will instantly just start me off with all this money. I'm not cheating. I'll still play it as if I had no money, just to be fair. But it's not fair that I gotta pay twice as much to play the same game on two different devices. So they really should have like some kind of a account so you can transfer your progress and everything through multiple devices. But apparently they don't do that. So I'm not trying to be cheap about it. I just hope you understand. It gets expensive, believe it or not. You could spend $99 to get some huge amount of tokens or cash. I don't remember what it is, but they get expensive. And the guns and stuff that you gotta buy with in-game cash or tokens, I'm not talking about real life cash, but in-game, they get extremely expensive too. Plus you got tons of equipment and gear and all this other crap that you gotta buy. And it just really adds up, and it's not fair that I should be paying for all of this again, and I still have a crap load of leftovers in my last game on my iPhone. And I hadn't played it in like 2 years now. And I remember I just keep getting pop-up notifications of new updates, new weapons, and new just all kinds of things that I'm pretty anxious to see what it's all about. I played it a little bit on this phone, just the introduction phase, just to compare the graphics, and the graphics are amazing compared to this phone. And I remember the iPhone. To me, it looked more 2D. On here, it's just all out 3D, and there's just a lot of blood gore. The blood splashing effects. It's just they really do. It's different between the Android and the iPhone. I think the iPhone just really limits like the blood and gore and adult contents, in their apps. So that's probably why you don't see any blood, if any, in the Apple operating system, and the wind just doesn't go away. I want to try not to make this too long of a video like I did last time. So that's just what I'm trying to do with mobile gaming. There's all kinds of games out there I like to try in the mobile, like the Nova, the Near Orbit Vanguard Alliance, I think it's called. They have a series of those, and they have just some other games that I hadn't decided to try out yet. There's still PC games I want to try, like Gears of War. I'm going to try to stay away from games like Plants vs. Zombies, stuff like that. It just does not, it's short-lived. It was addicting for a little while, and once you beat the game, I learn the mini games and everything. It's just, I got better things to do in my life. Like trying to get the next series started up for Doom 3. But yeah, hopefully I can get that started soon if I can learn to implement those monsters. I don't think I finished explaining that. I am browsing around the web trying to find people to help me to replace those monsters that spawn in Doom 3. People that have programming skills or they know anything about video gaming. Because I've looked through scripts and declaration. I looked through all of it, and I just don't know where that section of the game is where I can just completely replace all imps or all Hell Knights or any demons with different monsters. That's what I just really want to do. And if I can't do that, I'd rather at least add my own, add my own spawn points throughout the games. But tongue twister. If any of you guys know anything about this, just, hit me up and, help me out a little, because I really want to get a Kickstarter in this thing. I want it to be different, unique. I want it to be entertaining. Just having different monsters. I just want it to be an unexpected series, just like Marine's Journey kind of was. Like, I know you guys weren't expecting the what's that monster? The Icon of Sin. I know you weren't expecting that. You weren't expecting the Invisible Imps or the not the Hell Knights, the Baron of Hell. It's just, I want to step it up a notch. I just think it would be fun. Resurrection of Evil, it's an action-packed game. So I don't know how the dialogue is going to go, except the guy, you can expect him to be an older gentleman, and I think that's all I'm going to say for that for right now, because, I don't want to spoil anything, but if you guys know anything about programming or scripting, to give me a little tip to help me out with these spawn points or replacing monsters or models, just let me know. I'd like to get started on this as soon as I can. But other than that, I think that's all the update that I have for now. I just really wanted to get this out there because I just finished Plants vs. Zombies, and I really have nothing else left to do except, finish up Doom 3 Resurrection of Evil. I'm just soaked that I finally got Sick Mod working. Oh man, you have no idea just how relieved I feel when that thing finally worked. I played through my first mission, and I take my first couple of shots at an imp's head, and he just drops down. Oh my god, I just couldn't move. I was in awe. I was so happy. I wanted to cry. Okay, I'm being overly dramatic here. But that's all the updates for now. Thanks you guys for watching. And again, if you have any tips to help me program Doom 3, let me know. So until then, I'll see you guys next time.